Hey everyone, it's Random Guy, and I'm back with another video. This video is a guide on how to AFK Skeletal Wyverns in your personal Slayer dungeon. I've been making about 12 to 13 mil an hour doing this in just the bones, and about 15 mil an hour overall. One thing to keep in mind is this method is even better and will make you even more GP an hour on RS Mobile. This is because of the increased loot distance of your loot interface, so you can actually pick everything up without moving. I will be showing this on computer though. I will also be showing a nice easy AFK way to get the souls. To start this off though, there will be a couple steep requirements, well, kind of steep requirements. The first one is 108 Archaeology. This is to get the Death Note relic. This relic will automatically note all bones and all ash drops. The next one is the Bone Crusher, and more importantly, its upgraded version. Sadly, this means you might need to spend some time in the Ark collecting chimes in Taijitu. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And the other requirement is, of course, 99 Slayer to get access to your personal Slayer dungeon and to get the Ushaptis to collect the souls to put in it. Now, let's get into your gear. As you can see, we'll be using magic. Why? Because wyverns are weak to fire spells, and blood spells will help you survive while also counting as fire spells. So for my weapon, I'll be using an Inquisitor staff as it is best in slot here. And since I'm using an Inquisitor staff, the spell that I will be using is Blood Blitz. If you are not using an Inquisitor staff, you will be using Blood Barrage. As for my cape, I'm using the Igneous Zuck cape, but that's not needed. Literally, any cape will work as long as it has an armor and magic bonus. For my necklace, I'm using an Arcane Blood necklace. This is just a blood necklace that also gives a 44 magic bonus. I would also recommend getting one of these as the bonus helps. More kills an hour equals more GP an hour, so don't skimp out. But if you use a regular blood necklace, you can. It's fine, it'll work. For my ring, I'm using a Reaver's ring because, again, any DPS boost is a good DPS boost. And for my pocket slot, I'm using a Scripture of Wen. I think the reason for that is obvious, but just in case, I'll say it again. More DPS is always better. Now for my armor, I went down the route of using magic tank armor, even though we're not using Animate Dead. The reason why is because they do hit kind of hard, and their hits are very accurate. So the life bonus and the extra armor rating is very helpful here. You could probably use other armor than Crit Bloom and Ganodermic. I just don't have any. Well, I have Elite Tectonic, but I'm not using those charges here. As I just implied though, Ganodermic does work here. I have tested it, and as you can see, it works just fine. So no Crit Bloom is needed. The defensive perk of Crit Bloom doesn't even work here, as they only hit with range attacks. I'm just using Crit Bloom because I have it and I feel like using it. As long as your armor is augmented with perks like Devotion, you'll be fine. For my gloves, I'm using Cinderbanes because they are poisonable. And lastly, in my rune pouch, I have more than what's necessary, so you don't need all of them in your rune pouch. Just put fire and blood runes in it, and that's all you need. Now for your inventory. You will need any kind of overload as long as it is a salve. So, Supreme Overload salve or Elder Overload salve, whatever you have access to is fine as long as it is a salve. At the bare minimum, you'll need a Wormfire potion to make this work. I have tested it, but the prayer you get from drinking a salve is what keeps you going here without needing prayer pots. And on top of that, if you're using Wormfire potions, you'll also need overloads and prayer potions, and that'll just take up way too much inventory space. Next up are some aggression potions to keep your aggression throughout your run, and then some potion reservoirs to put them in. One thing to know is that over time, I've noticed that an aggression potion actually lasts a couple seconds longer than an overload potion. So make sure that if you're using a potion reservoir, that it's the aggression potion that you put in it. The reason why is because a potion reservoir consumes the next dose a couple of seconds early, like before it ends, so it ends up evening out the time difference. Next up is a flask of Weapon Poison Plus and some Torsal Incense sticks to further increase your poison damage. 6 sticks is all you need for 1 hour. Then I have some magic note paper. This is even more important on RS Mobile, but it's needed nonetheless. Then we have a teleport method to get there. For me, I'm using the Slayer Codex. And then we have 3 very important items. The upgraded gem bag and herb bag, and the upgraded herbicide. With this, I have the upgraded herbicide in my tool belt to automatically pick up all the herbs. This will make you a nice amount of money without actually taking up any of your inventory space. Then we have the spring cleaner. Make sure that you have it set to ALK tiny bladed adamant salvage along with all the normal settings. And lastly, an XP capacitor 5000. If you have access to these will make you an extra mil or so an hour from what I've noticed. You get a lot of item XP here and it fills it up pretty quickly. I would actually say that it's a bit more than a mil an hour, but whatever, I'm not actually keeping track of it to that extent. Overall, it's a nice increase to GP per hour. At the bottom of the screen, right now, is the Revo++ ability bar that I use. Now for your Archaeology Relics. The one that is mandatory is the Death Note Relic, as I mentioned before. And then I have the Luck of the Dwarves. This is so I could use a DPS ring while still getting the RNG bonus and the chance for an HSR. The one on top is Death's Ward, but this isn't really needed, it's just nice to have. All it does is makes you a bit tankier if your HP gets low. Now for your legendary pet Scavenging Loadout. Just copy what I have on screen if you have a legendary pet. I will leave this up for a few seconds so you can see it. Now that all that is out of the way, it's time for soul collecting. For this part, you will not need aggression potions. Instead, bring a couple Ushaptis. I would only bring 1 to 2 at a time, as your inventory will get full fast, and you can't actually capture a soul if your inventory is full. So bring enough to keep your inventory manageable even after getting a soul. I only brought 1 at a time, but that's just me. So to get here, you could either use the Dungeoneering Cape like me and teleport to the Frost Dungeon to get there faster, or you can just run south from the Port Sarim Lodestone and go down the ladder into this dungeon. Either way, before you enter the cave entrance to the Skeletal Wyverns, make sure that you drink your Overload Salve or Wormfire Potion and turn on your range prayer. Do not forget to call your pet through after you, because you will not be running far enough away for it to automatically teleport to you. Now run north to here, and we will just be AFK farming this guy over and over again. The kills take just long enough that your legendary pet should pick up almost every single item. Stay here until you have all 5 souls, and then take them to your personal Slayer dungeon. Then enter in on build mode and put them in. I am very sure that you can only put them in the 2 big rooms and not the small one, so pick one of the 2 big rooms and put them in. Then leave and put on the loadout that we went over before and start AFKing. This can be done without aura, but if you find yourself struggling, there are a couple things you can do. First, you could remove 1 Skeletal Wyvern. It will not really reduce your GP per hour by any noticeable amount. So you can make it so there are only 4 in there, meaning you're getting hit less often. Or you could use the Vampirism aura. Or you could even put Devotion and Ice Asylum on your ability bar to help with healing. I will put an ability bar up there that's like that on the screen now, for any of you who are interested. Well, I think that's it for this one, so it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked it, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up, and if you want more stuff like this, subscribe to my channel. I've got more stuff like this coming, and I've got a lot of other AFK guides too. Anyways, good luck on those gains, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Take care.